It's time to enter the drone zone with me, James Drone, aka Pure Ambient Drone. So hit that subscribe button, tap that bell, and get ready to synth on.
Hey there, drones. It is I, Pure Ambient Drone, aka James Drone. This is my channel where I talk about synthesizers. And today I want to talk about synthesizers and prices. Back in March of this year, 2022, I did a video about how I felt the prices were going to go up, up, up. Actually, that's the name of the video that I did, Synthesizer Prices going up, up, up. And I'm looking at the prices here today. I'm on the Sweetwater website. And, you know, I got to say that I'm looking into the future because I don't believe that this is where it's going to stop. Now, as most of you already know, and if you haven't, you must be living under a rock, Moog has released the Mini Moog Model D again. And it is, you might as well say, $5,000. $5,000 for a monophonic synth. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to bash Moog, I'm not trying to bash the Model D. But that is a hefty amount of money. And a lot of people would argue, well, that's American made, and American made stuff it costs more money. There is truth to that. $5,000 though is a lot of money to be pouring into a synthesizer. But if this is something that you want to buy, if this is something that you need to buy, or if this is just something that you like, it's your money. By all means, go for it. Now, when I did the breaking news on this, I had not had access to the actual price of what it was going to cost, and I was saying in that video that, you know, I was considering maybe I'd get one, but no, I am not going to buy a Mini Moog Model D at $5,000. I just don't see the necessity there. Would it be great to have one? It would be. And I don't want to sound like I'm complaining or anything, because I'm not trying, because I think complaints are an attempt to get something done, maybe. There's nothing that can be done about this, really, because it's not just Moog. You know, we got the Oberheim OBX8 over here. It's a hefty $5,000 as well. And if I had to pick between this or that, I'm going for the Oberheim. Okay. I mean, if it was between these two synthesizers. So I don't know how anybody would want to pick. But I mean, again, it goes by what you need, right? Or what you want. But if I was going to spend $5,000 this year or any time between these two synthesizers, I would go with the Oberheim OBX8. It would be really great if I get my hands on one of those, but I'm trying to curb my gas appetite because, you know, after a while, when you accumulate so much gear, you realize that, you know, they're never going to stop making synthesizers, right? They're always going to be a new one coming out. And then we got the Behringer camp over here. They're still keeping their prices low, and we have a price drop. And I'm not sure, but I'm thinking maybe this is somewhere near where it was before prices went up. It's hard to keep up with all of this stuff, especially when I'm working and doing different things all the time on my music and stuff. You have Arteria trying to get us in below $500. You know, some of these synth companies understand that, you know, we don't have $5,000 just laying around, and, you know. But now, I own the Arteria Polybrute, the 6th voice down here. And I got to tell you, in my opinion, this is worth it. This is a magnificent machine. And I have no plans of ever letting it go. I mean, you don't know what the future holds, right? But as of now, this is one of my favorite synthesizers that I have been using in nearly every track that I've been making recently. And I think it's worth every penny. I hope it doesn't go higher than this for the sakes of those who don't already have it. But I think at this price point, this is a outstanding machine. Let's see what else we got here. The Korg Minilog XD, $599. It's a price drop. Again, I don't remember what this was when it first came out. It may be pre-inflation prices right now. Feel free to leave a comment. Someone out there knows what this used to be. I'm just going through these here off the cuff. This is a great synthesizer for its price. You got a lot of bells and whistles. You got some great sound. You got some great flexibility. There's a lot of things that this little machine here can do. And I believe that it's worth the $599 easily for what you get. Then you got the Behringer Poly D. I had it. I don't know. Maybe I'm just not a Poly D guy. I mean, and I think that's why I've changed my mind on the Moog. There's just something about the interaction or perhaps the sound that just didn't do it for me. And I don't know if it's Behringer's fault or not. I don't know, because I have never owned a real Moog Model D. So, and who can't love the Korg Volcas? I started my studio out with some of these, and they're fun. And every now and then I kind of miss them. I wouldn't say that the keys was everything. I'm pointing at the Volca keys, but I really like the Volca percussions that they had come out with over the years. I like playing with those. Those are a lot of fun. I haven't tried the Micro Freak, but I've heard that it's got some great sounds. And if you notice, I skip over a lot of the digital synthesizers, but I will tell you this. Right here we have the Behringer DeepMind 12. It comes in a flavor of 6 as well. I really, really, really think that this is the best Behringer synth as of this date, okay? As of this date. I think I just bumped the camera here. Sorry for that. The DeepMind, I think, is the best. Of course, it's a polyphonic synth, and maybe that's one of the reasons why I like it so much, because I do like the polyphony. But I think Behringer really did some great work with this synthesizer. And some people say that it's supposed to be a Juno. And there are so many similarities to a Juno. But in my opinion, I own a Juno 106. I've owned one for a long time, many years. I don't think that it actually can compare to the beef of a Juno 106. I think a real Roland Juno 106 has a lot more beef in the lower end. We have the Moog over here, the Sub 37. I owned one of those a while back. It was a lot cheaper than this, okay? And I thought it was overpriced then. And so I went ahead and let it go because I was not happy with the sound. This is all my opinion, so understand that, I have my taste, you have your taste. But I did not like the sound of the Moog 37. The tone of it sounded too clinical to me for an analog synth. Okay, so this has got to be one of my favorite synths, the Moog Matriarch. It's a beautiful sounding synthesizer. $21.99, I think, again, is just, I don't know. I mean, it's a paraphonic synth. And so you're getting a little bit more than you would from a straight monophonic synth, which there's really not a whole lot of difference other than you're splitting up the oscillators. But there's some really great sounds that you can get out of this. I didn't think the envelope, the attack envelope, was snappy enough for what I wanted to use the synth for. But every now and then I look at that and I just gasp for it, because it was one of my favorite Moog synthesizers. I never really cared for the Minilog, and now again I like the Minilog XD, but I really didn't care too much for the Minilog. Down here we have another favorite of mine from Behringer. It's the Monopoly 4-voice. I had one of these as well. And again, every now and then I gas. I just have so many synthesizers that sometimes I have to look in my studio and ask myself, what do I have to let go? Because too many choices, can overwhelm you. But this is a great synth. And it's at $809. I think when I got mine, it was around $600 and change. I will talk about one synthesizer here at least that's digital, and that's this Roland Integra 7. I hated the interface, the menu diving, the button pushing, the dial right here, $2,000, and I believe that was hundreds of dollars less than it is now. And I think I even picked one up at one time used for $800 in perfect condition and secondhand market. But $2,000, I don't know. It depends on what you need it for, because this is an everything box. I mean, if you're into some kind of production that you need a lot of different sounds and you need a cookie cutter synth, this is a great synthesizer box to integrate into your studio. It's got a lot of stuff, but I'm thinking right now you're getting into the newer Phantoms, and I do have a Phantom 7 here. It's the new release, the new Phantoms that came out in 2019, and it's got an analog filter in it. I think it's a better deal if you want to go up in price a little bit. It's quite a bit. I think it's $1,500 more dollars. I tried the Digitones, and I think I do like the Digitones. I like their sound and everything. I didn't like the interface of menu diving. To me, I don't think I have the patience for some of the things that were necessary, and I just couldn't get into the groove of the workflow. And it's me, because I've seen other people just fly through these things, but it's just me. I'm not knocking down. Electron makes some great sounding gear. I just don't jive with their interface. I had the Hydrasynth 49. I think $12.99 is a little bit high for what you get in this synth, but I don't see a price increase on this. I think this is about what I paid for mine. I don't have it anymore. I didn't think there was enough in there for me to hold on to it, considering that I have the Iridium from Waldorf. So I just kind of felt this was just overkill. Maybe I just didn't need it. Then you have these variations right here that Moog is trying to let you have a synth that's like the dark mode that they're doing. More Behringer stuff, 606. This is a classic right here, the Korg, Micro Korg. I had one of these decades ago. Well, I shouldn't say decades ago, but I had one of these. I think when they first came out, I can't really remember when that was, 2002, 2003. It's been a while since I had mine. I'm not sure when they actually came out, but I had one of these. I found it kind of limited, 4 voices, but it's good to see that there's still a 429. Got a Prophet 10 over here, $4,399. I had the Prophet 5 module. I keep bumping this camera. My apologies. This is a beautiful sounding synthesizer, and again, I would pick this over the Moog reissue of the Model D any day. No onboard effects, no stereo voice split, but those are minor things that can be remedied. If you want those things, you can have them. I mean, it's not that hard to make that happen. It's a great sounding synth. This is the 10. I had the 5. I tried some of the Roland boutiques, and I actually liked the Juno 06A. I really enjoyed it, but I gave it a couple of chances, but just the tiny interface. I mean, it's like you almost need tweezers to work with these things. I just Just didn't have the patience to be pushing all these little tiny buttons. It's just me. A lot of this will come down to, your preference, your workflow. I found over the years for myself, my own personality, I have to be true to myself. Who am I at the end of the day with my work schedule, with my lifestyle, with the things that I have in my temperament? What is it that I need to do to make my music creation as simple as possible and as creative as possible? There has to be a balance. And so I've been at this for a long, long time. And I don't think you ever really find the workflow. I think it's always a journey, but it's a fun journey if you don't get too ahead of yourself. And I've done that as well. The Korg Wave State. I had one of these, and I got to tell you, they're a really unique synthesizer. And thus far, from everything that I've listed on here, I think this is one of the most unique synths that I touched on in this video so far. This is a nice synthesizer, and it's on sale right now. I think it's $100 off. So this is a pretty good deal, and it might be again what it was before the inflation hit. And I don't think inflation is over. By the way, we're talking about synth prices. This is a Rev 2 8 voice. Okay, now you used to be able, and I did. I had a Rev 2 that I paid this price for a 16 voice, and now you're only getting 8 voices for this price. So really has gone up. I have a lot of sequential synthesizers, and I found this to be just, again, overkill and didn't need it. The Prophet 6, I mean, what can you not say good about the Prophet 6? This is an amazing workhorse, and it's got some wonderful sounds. $34.99. Let's see what we got here. More Hydra synth options. Got the Take 5. Got Take 5 here. This gives you a little bit of a taste from the Prophet 5. I wouldn't say that it's exactly the same thing as a Prophet 5, because in my book it's not. I found it a little weak in the mid sections, the mid frequencies. I didn't really think that it had a whole lot of oomph, but if you need some low end, this puppy's got it. It's got some really great low end on it. Let's see, what else are we looking at here? We got the 16. So when I had my 16, the first one I ever got, it was just at $2,000. This is at $2,600. Don't get me wrong, this is a great deal for a 16 voice synthesizer. But if I had to pick between the Rev 2 and the Polybrute, if I had to pick, and I did have to pick because I had to let one of them go. I didn't have to, but I decided to let one of them go. I picked the Polybrute. Two different machines, but for my taste, the Polybrute was, to me, the better choice. But remember, I've got a lot of sequential synthesizers that can kind of fill in the gaps here. Polybrute to me kind of sounds like a Juno 106. The Prophet 5, OB6, again, I mean, if you have this with the 6, the Prophet 6 right here, paired with the OB6, I've got both of these. They're great synthesizers to have together. They fill out a lot of tones that you might need. Here's a classic Moog Minotaur. Not sure what this used to be. I think this was around $400 when it first came out, somewhere around there. So what else we have here? We got the reface. They're still selling those. I wasn't even aware that Yamaha was still selling their refaces. I never owned one of those. This is a great little machine right here. The Roland Gaia SH01. A lot of fun. I wouldn't say that it's really close to an analog synth, but it does have a lot of great sounds that you can achieve with this, and you can fill out a lot of space if that's what you need in a track. You can do that. Novation Summit, a great hybrid synthesizer. I disagree with the $22.99. I think this could be around a $1,500 synthesizer for what you're getting out of it, in my opinion. Again, when I say what you're getting out of it, I don't mean that it's got some kind of worthlessness to it. I'm just saying that there's so many other synthesizers competing in this $2,000 range that I think you can do more with than the Summit. I found that the Summit was, I don't know, You go up a few $100s more, and again, you get the Poly Brute. You can get a Rev 16 for about the same price, and you can do just so much more with those other synthesizers with the tonality. But that's not to take anything away from the Summit. It's an amazing synthesizer. It really is. I just don't think it's worth $2,299, $2,300. Get the Montage. This is a pretty good synth. It's not worth $3,000. I've owned some secondhand. Try to give it a couple of chances, but I didn't like the interface. I don't know. It just didn't work for me. I did some work with the Cycles 6-track. These are nice. Again, it's all about taste. This Behringer Crave, I didn't like it. I couldn't get a good sound out of it because I just sucked at using it. I mean, I'm just going to admit it. I just didn't put enough into it. So, I mean, I'm willing to say that, I don't know everything because I don't. I haven't tried the JX08, again, $349. The Prologue 16. So this is $16.99. I actually got mine when it was $2,000 and thought it was worth every penny of it. I think this is a really underrated synth. But now, if you want its little sister, brother, whatever you want to call it, then the Minilog XD will give you 4 voices of something that's so close to this that you won't miss this. I actually own both of them still. So the JDXI is a great techno little monster. I mean, you can do so much with this little synth. Haven't tried the Mod Wave. I don't know. It might be worth $849. I'm sure that if this came out last year, we wouldn't be looking at that number. We'd be looking around 6 or 7. Let's see. The Waldorf Iridium keyboard is about the price now of what the actual Quantum used to be. I think the Quantum was even lower than $3,800, if I remember. I could be wrong, but I've got the Iridium. I don't have the keyboard, and I'm pretty happy with the Iridium. I sometimes wish that it did have the keyboard and the mod wheel and stuff, but it doesn't. And who knows? I may trade up one day. I had the Quantum, but I didn't like the mono filters, so I went with the Iridium. But I sometimes the Waldorf Iridium / Quantum, they pretty much run all the same patches. They just have a different sound to them because the Quantum has 8 voices and these have 16, the Iridiums. But if you don't need that stereo filter on the Quantum, if you don't mind it being mono coming out and you're doing some mono work, you can get some good sounds. I just don't think it sounded great with pads, and that's my middle name, Pad. So I have this one right here. And I don't remember if that was the price I paid or not. It's been a while. The Access Virus TI-2, I had some of the modules of these, and I don't know, I had the Virus C, which I really enjoyed. I utilized it a lot in my early tracks. I never felt the same vibe with the TI-2s. I tried, but I don't know, maybe it was just me. I'm probably imagining things. The Prophet X has gone up, I believe, in price as well. This is a workhorse. It does samples. You can go to 8Dio and get all kinds of samples to load into this and get some really cool sounds. Just kind of looking through this stuff. I mean, obviously, I probably can't go through all of these synthesizers. I'm probably driving some of you crazy by skipping through some of this stuff. But yeah, the Quantum is at $4,799, so $4,800 for a Quantum. I mean, these things are out there, for a good used car. We bought a used car some years ago. It wasn't very long ago. I think it was in 2021 or 2020. Got it for $2,700, and it works perfect. I better knock on wood on that. Had the Jupiter X. Didn't seem like I needed it because I had the Phantom. I think that was pretty silly of me to grab that. Let's see, what else do we got here? A lot more of the same, pretty much. But yeah, I mean, prices have definitely gone up. And this is a price drop. I think we'll see $400 off. So this is not worth $2,500, which is where we're at when we're adding the $400 back on. This is not worth it. I don't think this is worth $2,000. This is the Waldorf Kyra, and I had it, and I don't like the build quality. I think Waldorf dropped the ball on the ones that first came out. Don't know anything about them now, but definitely don't think that this is worth even $2,000. To me, I think synthesizers this size with this build quality should be around $1,200 maybe. I don't know. What do I know? I mean, I'm not into building these things and marketing these. This is a good little deal. The Dreadbucks Typhon is a really good synth. It's got some really good sounds, lots of flexibility. A little bit of menu diving can be a little frustrating at times for me because I hate menus. I really do. So here's a Moog, $7,000. I own the 16 voice of this. I still have it. It's a great synthesizer. It's a lot of money. So again, you got to figure out what you need. Haven't tried the Waldorf M, but again, I haven't tried it because it's, look, price drop, $400 off. Just don't think that it's worth it. Sequential Pro 3. This is the non-special edition. I guess that's what the SE stands for. I got the one where the lid comes up, or not the lid, but the panel comes up. So let's see, what else do we have here? Haven't tried the Argon 8. I think it's similar to the Hydra synth, which is, in my opinion, close to the sounds that I can get from the Iridium if I want them. So let's see. So pretty much, we're just looking at these synthesizers here, and we have so many picks, to choose from in this day and age that, we're kind of spoiled, aren't we, with our choices at least. Not with the prices, huh? The Moog 116 voice, $9,000. That would get you a car for sure. So, and then we got some studio electronic stuff down here, which I can't recall if I've ever owned anything from Studio Electronics. So yeah, that's my take on synth prices as of this date in 2022, and what I find is interesting and what I would like to have and things I would pass on. But you got to remember, my studio and my music and my workflow is all different than all of yours. You have to find what your taste is and what your needs are and what your likes are. Tell me what you think in the comments. Let's keep it civil. We're all friends here. I am Pure Ambient Drone. Hit that subscribe button, tap that bell, and above all, keep calm and synth on.